माननीय श्री कल्याण बनर्जी जी शायद नहीं नेक्स्ट माननीय श्री के वीरास्वामी जी.
Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to speak on this repealing and amending bill of 2025, sir. Sir, we feel that this whole purpose of passing this bill is not at all necessary, because anyway you feel that you have a majority and you are bringing in bills and either abrogating them or amending them to your choices just because you have a majority, sir. Sir, I would like to speak about the great Mavlankar. When he had spoken about how the minority should be treated. He said, just because you have a majority in the parliament, by raising of hands, if you are going to vote on the sentiments of the people, this is not a country which is democratic. This is what he had mentioned. And this government is proving his words exactly right, sir. Sir, if you look at the so many bills which have been brought and passed and enacted as law, you will find in the last 10 years, there have been several bills which have been enacted and made as laws, where the Supreme Court, former Supreme Court Chief Justice, Mr. Ramana, he had mentioned that we are not passing bills with adequate debate, discussions, deliberations, or referring them to standing committees, and because of that, they are having problems in interpreting the law and passing judgments. And also we find that when you pass certain laws, within a year or two, you bring it back and again amend it. So if you can amend one particular law, it should stand the test of time, where at least for a decade or two, it should be alive. But you are bringing in amendments which are again re-amended within a couple of years, shows that this government does not have a clue about the direction in which they are traveling, sir. Sir, to talk about the laws which have been brought in, which has been against the people, anti-democratic, anti-people, the farm laws is one standing example, sir. When you brought in the farm laws, opposition members, having discussed with the farmers, we had brought our sentiments, the farmers' sentiments, talking about not needing this particular bill where it will destroy the farming community. But you just because you had a majority, you spearheaded yourself and you made sure that it will be brought in by brute force, sir. And there were thousands, if not lakhs of farmers who had to protest, not for 1 day or 2 days, sir, for almost 1.5 years, where 700 farmers had to die before you could realize their requirements and the requests, and then you had to repeal that. Even when you brought in this demonetization, when demonetization was brought in, the Honorable Prime Minister, he said that he will eradicate terrorism, he will eradicate counterfeit money, black money, and all these things he had mentioned, and he said that tie me to a post and whip me if this is not done within 90 days. Now it's been several years, sir, and what was the effect of demonetization? Demonetization, about 99.3% of the notes have come back. So where is the black money? You were talking about black money being hoarded in, all over the country, but we find that only the BJP people were having the 2,000 rupee notes. When it came out, the BJP people were the ones who had access to that, and it was caught by the enforcement, the income tax department in hordes, where the common man was standing in a queue and hundreds of people died standing in the queue, sir. These are the things that the government has been doing, and you have brought in the repeal, abrogation of Article 370. When the abrogation of Article 370 was brought in, we were speaking against that because we felt that Jammu and Kashmir needs to have a special place. It is a jewel of our country, and bordering on the, against Pakistan, they had to have their own security, sir. But you said that we have removed it. Now there will be no terrorist activities happening over there. But sadly, what is that place where they... Pahalgam was a total failure of the Union government's intelligence, of the Union government's policing mechanism and their military activities. It is a blatant failure of this government where 5 terrorists were able to come not 1 or 2 kilometers, hundreds of kilometers deep into the heart of Pakistan and kill several tourists, about 27 of them, sir. And in response to that, when we wanted to have a negotiation, unilaterally you decided that we are going to go against a war. We did not know what was the objective of that war, why you went for that war. We did not know what was the ultimate aim of that war. The only question we asked was, 27 people were murdered by terrorists. What happened to those 5 terrorists?
Please
None of them spoke about that. Sir,
Please
this,
speak on
this
the
is a bill, the abrogation of Article 370. After that, this is what has happened. So I'm talking about you bringing in repealing, amending, all these things. Anyway, you're doing it on your own just because you have a brute majority. I request the union government to at least listen to the opposition, have discussions and deliberations. Even now, you are bringing in some laws where the names we can't even understand, sir. Be it the Bharatiya Nyay Sammiti or something. That one, and today now we are even changing that education of bill. There is a bill which I was not even able to something. Sabji. So I am not even able to understand these words. So I request that the government make sure that when they are bringing in a bill, make it in English so that the whole country can understand it, and where you do not try to push Hindi down our throats, saying these are the names of bills, we have to say those names. With these words, I oppose this bill and hope that the union government will take credibility of these words, sir. Thank you.